Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good weekend. So I built a couple bags off stream so that this stream we could use to finish it. So we're just going to go until it's finished. Might be a little longer than 2 hours, but we'll see what we can do. As you all remember, we were in the midst of doing the Lego Technic series, Lunar Roving vehicle from, I think it was Apollo 17. Good morning, Missy. So I did a couple bags to get us to where we only have 5 bags left. I think we can do that in a couple hours. These seats were put on. The bottoms of the chairs, and I think they go up and down. This control deck I made this control deck during that time. I shouldn't say I made it. I get on people for doing that. This section was done. I did that section. The steering mechanisms are all still in place. There was a really weird section where it had this instruction where you take this off. You move this whole thing over, right? Let's put this in place so they don't move, right? So these things are in here so this doesn't move, right? And then you move this whole section out. They're like, yeah, do this. And this now it doesn't impact it at all, right? And then you can undo the wheels up here. And now the front wheels only move. And I don't know why that's like that. I don't have any idea why they decided that was necessary, but it is, or as part of the instructions. It didn't really change anything about like how anything was being built. It was just, that's part of the thing now. So last I checked, we had these open. Good morning, Cliff. How you feeling? We had these open. Everything steers, right? It's not a very complicated gearing system. You got your 2 translator beveled gears here, translates the horizontal to vertical, and then down in here it'll translate it back from vertical to horizontal with a larger gear, and that translates over to this lift arm, and then onto these I guess these are also lift arms, but they're like socket lift arms, right? And then these are relatively new pieces that I can tell. These the wheels. Anyway, so a lot of that was done. Big old sticker on the control panel there, on that 6x6 tile or 4x4 tile. So that's pretty cool. That's great. That's good to hear. I hope your recovery is swift. So I opened bag 6 and I realized that this step was probably going to be a fun one to watch. So I decided, because it was including the wheels, so I was like, nope, I'm going to hang off until the stream. Almost did this bag. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. All that stuff. The seat, I don't know if you can see, they're really complex. It's not just a mesh. On the Rover itself, I'm sure it's just a mesh, but on this, to make a mesh that size, they're like, let's get all these cross beams and 3 length bars in there. That'll be fun to build. So today, I think today or the 6th, I think, is coming out. The Jaws set is coming up. So for those waiting for that, that's coming up soon. We've got some neat printed tiles here. I think these are for the wheels, the outsides of the wheels, the hubcaps. In space, you still need hubcaps, apparently. So we're going to turn this around. Yeah, some foot pads, too, for the seats. The backings of the seats are probably going to go here, and that's where they rest their feet. This thing goes up and down. I don't know how... It doesn't stay up. The friction in those pins is not enough for it to stay up. So I don't know what's going to become of that just yet, but... So how's everybody's weekend going? I hope you're doing well. Let's see, to line these up, it goes under here. Let's make sure I got these lined up right. Ordered the Jaws set. Excellent. I'm thinking of ordering, I think the C-3PO set is also out. I was actually thinking of getting that. That's probably not a day one purchase for me, but I think that's also newly out. I think that would go well with the other droids up there. I kind of want to get rid of the Baby Yoda of Grogu. I don't think I need him up there anymore. I think I might box up like the New Year's parade, the Lunar parade, and the unicorn, and yeah, I'm trying to start boxing things up and make some room. All right, so these guys get pushed forward like so. These are the seats. I don't know how far forward they want them. Straight up and down. Been waiting on that Jaws set, huh? Well, good. I'm glad Lego finally listened to you and got you what you wanted. I think this is the tail end of the releases. I don't think anything else magical is coming out. Also, if you're joining us from taking a break from Brick Fair, Virginia, I think today is the last day for Brick Fair, Virginia. ×2. Ah, they almost got me. I see it. I saw it in time. They thought they could pull me down. I have a couple friends out in Brick Fair, Virginia. I hope they're doing well. If you see Justin and Philip Brady Joyner out there, say hello. They are good people. Yeah, the Jaws set, I mean, it's cool and all. It didn't hit me. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. My first thought was that scene that they're depicting is a pretty violent scene. Like, he's almost the one dude gets eaten, and then they shoot a compressed air tank in the shark's mouth and it explodes. I'm like, this is cool, but it seems like not something Lego would normally do. Johnny's out there too, right? Yeah. I would consider Johnny a streaming friend. I don't know him in real life, so I'd like to meet one day and hang out. I think he and I are pretty similar. So it may be one of those where we're just too alike. We don't get along. But I think he's also a good dude. They've got their Hoth set up out there. If you're out there, check it out. It's great. It's got a snow. He's been doing some live streams and some giveaway stuff too. It's got a snow speeder on train tracks, so it kind of flies around the AT-AT. It's always good to see. If you guys haven't, check out. Yeah, we need a bigger boat. I think Roy Scheider's got a bunch of great one-liners in his career, and that was definitely one of them. Again, I would get it to get the Roy Scheider figure so I could make a 2010 mock. I could do the it's the Discovery and the Leonov. I'm trying to remember if that's the Russian ship that they go get the Discovery in. Such an underrated movie. I know that like kids of a certain, people of a certain age who are kids in the 80s probably really like that movie if they were into science fiction at all. But I never hear it talked about. I think it's more entertaining than 2001 for sure. But it's essentially a disaster movie, right? They're trying to survive out in space, and bad things happen to them while they're in space. So I mean, it's a disaster movie. But it's such a good one. I think Helen Mirren is in it. I think that's a early Helen Mirren. I have to look, I think. Okay. Yeah, just I know their pop culture lineup is getting more robust. They've got the Wicked sets are going to come out. They've got Jaws. They've always done Star Wars, but I bet they do like, they head Back to the Future and Ghostbusters and Doctor Who. So I know they try to do their pop culture thing. I'm hoping for like an A-Team or a Knight Rider or a Battlestar Galactica at some point if you're throwing it back a little bit. That would be fun. They're always doing the ideas challenges, and everyone's always doing 80s stuff. Last Starfighter, and Tron was a thing. They did a Tron ideas set. So the desire is there. Eventually, all of us old people are going to die, and you won't have to worry about those properties anymore. Then it'll be the 90s and 2000s properties. Everyone will want Invader Zim or Gravity Falls sets. So what's everybody up to today? What'd you have for breakfast? What's on your docket today? Anybody watching the Olympics? Anybody playing any video games? Oh, see, I had to do this times 4 because this was times 2. So let's do another pair of these. Wouldn't Invader Zim be great? I think some of those figures would be, I don't know what kind of sets you would do. Maybe the initial ship he came down in, the house they live in, something. But the figures of Zim and Gur would be kind of great. You'd have 2 figures for Gur. I didn't watch the show a ton. It would be a great Lego theme would be Phineas and Ferb. I only know this because my kids are the age where we watched Phineas and Ferb a lot. Because they build stuff. And they make stuff, and they have these adventures where they're just like, we're going to make a thing today. I mean, if that doesn't like run right with Lego, imagination, building. Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence. We watched that a lot when the kids were little. It's going to be the chair backings, I'm guessing. I wanted to do I think ideas. It's hard to do. At the time, it was hard to do ideas property or IPs, but I think they've relaxed that a little bit, so you might be able to get away with doing it now. To go through, I had like a list. Like I went through and made a list of sets that I don't even know if I still have it, of sets that you could do and different price points that you could do them. I didn't design any of them, but I'm like, this would be your 20, you know, here's your $15 to $20 price point. Here's your $25 to $50 price point. Here's your $50 to $80 price point. Here's your above $100 price point. Blah, 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 blah. These are, you know, you'd want like 1 or 2 sets in the really expensive side, and you'd want, you know, a few sets in the middle, and then you'd want a lot at the low end so you could get more kids in. And I made a point to say you put the Phineas and Ferb figures in the low end sets. You want them building everything. You want available, and then you put all the figures in like the small end sets, right? You can add figures to the later ones if you want, but like definitely don't like make it so you can only get Dr. Doofenshmirtz with $100 set or something, because people won't do that. That limits the, it makes it better for play, because then people can get smaller sets and they get all the figures they want, versus only getting a Captain Rex with a UCS, whatever it is. But, you know, but that's me not being marketing for Lego and trying to make them money. All right. These guys are on opposite sides, and they just sit there. Oh, I missed this step. Yeah, Perry the Platypus would be great. Oh, there you are, Perry. I mean, you'd have to make the sister, I forget her name, Candace, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah, you'd have to make everybody. I think the higher end sets, maybe you get like their friends, right? But the base sets, you get Perry, Mom and Dad, Phineas and Ferb, Candace, Doofenshmirtz. Higher end set would be like Doofenshmirtz lair, and you get his daughter. And then maybe something with the school where they've got a bunch of school friends. I don't know. I think it'd be great. I think I don't think Lego's missing an opportunity, because the show's old. It's not like there's a huge clamor for it, but it's also Disney property, and I bet they're already like, look, we're maxed out on Disney licensing right now. All right, ×2 again. Okay, what else is going on? Beth is off to see Deadpool Wolverine for a second time. She loves it. We'll probably ended up seeing it a bunch of times and then owning it on Apple or something. She'll buy it, and then we'll have a watch marathon. She'll be like, do you want to watch all 3 Deadpool movies with me? I don't have to say yes. Oh, so here's a question for you. I put this up on Facebook, or Beth put it up on Facebook, because she started rewatching Buffy just for reasons. Hey, I use this piece in. I just used this piece in one of my Horizon machines, the Rock Breaker. I stumbled on this in Studio, and I was like, "This is an awesome piece." And it works great for the little padded neck area. I was like, that looks great. I'm going to use that. So that's awesome that we get a couple of them here. These are great pieces. These look like they'd be good for like robot chests, right? And that's maybe where they came from. All right, so these fold up, and these go here. It's coming together. So I've got a question for you. Again, Beth started rewatching Buffy, and originally our friends came together and we're gonna watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then we're like, okay, we'll watch, because I hadn't seen it and I don't think Dan had seen it. I was like, we'll watch Buffy if you guys watch Battlestar Galactica, and you guys probably know this story. And so we did Buffy, and then we started Battlestar Galactica, and then the pandemic hit, and we had to stop because we couldn't go over to each other's houses anymore. So we tried to watch it with, like, everybody simulcast on Zoom or something like that, but it didn't work really well. So we ended up stopping. But we never finished Battlestar Galactica, but we finished Buffy, and I've always been a little salty about that, because I'm like, you guys, and Beth always says, yeah, I really wasn't into it. I'm like, oh, and I was into Buffy? Like, I didn't like that show much at all. It was fine, but I don't think it, anyway. So it's always been a bone of contention that we never finished that show. So she started watching it the other day, and I was like, you should watch Battlestar, man. It's a really good show. It's a lot better than Buffy was. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, it's 100% better show than Buffy. She's like, no, it's not. I'm like, you put that on Facebook right now, and I will guarantee you more people will think Buffy is better than, or Battlestar is better than Buffy. And so far it's panning out. Battlestar does have its foibles in that, like, the last half of its fourth season was not great because of the writer's strike, and they had to kind of end it. But I will still say that even with that, it's a better show. So what do you guys think? If you've seen both. Now, I know not everybody's seen both. Buffy's they're both from, like, the early 2000s, so, I mean, they're both kind of the same era. 90s, early 2000s. Which do you think is the better show? And then when Beth gets home, I can say, haha, internet says I'm right. You're all right. Okay. Never watched either. Missy, what is wrong with you? Come on. Well, I'm not gonna, like, force anything on you. You watch it if you want. These are symmetrical. So when you get these wheels, they're the same on both sides, so it doesn't really matter which ones you put them on. So if you like sci-fi, I would very much recommend Battlestar Galactica. If you like supernatural teen drama stuff, I would highly recommend Buffy. Buffy also was, I will say, very meta. Like, it was very aware of itself and kind of some tropes, and they played with those a little bit. And they had kind of the long-running show breakout episodes of, like, this is the musical episode. This is the episode where nobody talks. This is the, they kind of play with it a little bit. So that was good. Battlestar was basically one long story, right? They had arcs a little bit in terms of, like, what chunk of the story they were in, but it's one story from beginning to end. It's one long 4.5 season story. Oh, that makes a difference. Yeah. Cause one was on UPN or WB or something. And then the other one was Sci-Fi. I bet they're now on a streaming service. So, or you can get the Blu-rays or something. I would recommend watching both. If they're kind of seminal TV series, everybody talks about them, the cultural impact of all of them. The thing to remember, the only thing that I have to say about them is I think the creators of each of them, there's something wrong with. I've had a chest thing going on. I apologize. Joss Whedon specifically has been a problem. He is I said I was a feminist in the 90s and 2000s, and now everyone's like, you're just kind of a jerk. So, I don't know. And I think Ronald D. Moore is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ronald D. Moore, but I don't know. Other than maybe he ruins properties? Like, there was something about him in Star Trek. I forget what it was. Good. Now we got these guys. These all have these American flags on them. On either side, so you got to pick the right one. So this goes here, and this goes here. Okay. Just one. Oh, no. See, you got them wrong already. Well, Buffy was on Fox, though. I thought Buffy was on Fox. Because it was around the same time as, like, X-Files, right? I thought. Did it move to something else? Did it later move to, like, UPN? Which I still think was broadcast TV. It was just a different frequency. Kind of a weird use for these parts. Mud flaps, basically, so dust doesn't kick up on the... But there it is. I mean, that's your buggy. The rest of the builds that we got are panels and attachments for the buggy. But that's about how big it is compared to a computer mouse or a minifig. Here's a minifig for size comparison. So it's sizable. I don't even know if it'll fit over here. It may just fit. Like, as long as there's some not stuff poking off the sides. So let's see what's next. Let's lock these wheels down so they don't move a whole lot. Oh, I know, I for sure did. I didn't watch Buffy when it first came out. I was aware of it, but I don't think... Alright, let's put this guy aside for a hot second. Do this and then park him. Nope, it doesn't fit. Let's park him over here. We are on, what is this? Bag 7. Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't... We may be running kind of long today. I'm going to try to get through these as quick as I can, but... Still have 7 bags to do, or 6 bags to do, so... A little bit of knolling. Just to kind of get everything... Ooh, look at that. 2x4 inverted tile. That's cool. This isn't a ×2, is it? Nope. Finally, some system pieces. I know this won't last, but... Nope, that's inverted. I wouldn't say it's a bad show. It has its issues, but... 17. So many stickers. 17. It's 3 sheets of stickers. Where did my... I tried to go back and watch X-Files, and I don't think I could get through that. It's kind of clunky. There's definitely a feeling of, I'm glad I saw this when I did with it. 22. Can't really tell how that's on there. Like this. But that's like that with most shows. You go back and watch. I went back and tried to watch Voltron or Transformers, and you realize, awesome, I love these. You realize that, yep, this was a commercial to sell toys. This was just half-hour commercial to sell Transformer toys. And as a kid, you don't care. You're just like, yeah, give me more of the eye candy. And then you grow up and you develop a little bit of taste and sophistication, and suddenly you're like, oh god, these are not well made. Which is why I think Voltron Legendary Defender, the one that came out on Netflix, was so well received, because it was like, yeah, this is the memory I have of Voltron. This is the nostalgia, but with the really good animation. So there was a Thundercats remake, 2011 maybe, that I thought was really good. At the time, I was really excited, and then it absolutely disappeared. It didn't get picked up again for a second season. I don't even think it made it through its first season completely. And I think that show would have thrived now. I think it was maybe a little bit ahead of its time. And then they did another Thundercats, which looked a little more like Steven Universe style. And I didn't watch that. I heard it was fine. And everyone kind of got up in arms about it because they're like me and they've got nostalgia and they love their old 80s stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, you do realize that those are just commercials for toys. There's no nostalgia there. I don't know what, you're just worried that it's impacting your memories. It was on during church. I think reruns of it were, unless you went to church at like Friday night, because I think it was on Friday night for a while. Because I remember coming home we were in college and we'd go to a friend's house and watch it when we could. And I think it was a double feature night. It was like Buffy and X-Files or something, or X-Files and something else. X-Files and Nowhere Man, maybe. Oh, those were the days. Texas's own Texas Railroad, Brick Railroad's own Gareth Ellis was on Beyond the Brick, newest video talking about his Elizabeth Tower. You should go check that out. A little behind the scenes on how he built it and how he came up with all of it and everything. It's very good. 9, 20, 6, 9. At one point it was on Sunday, like maybe it was primetime Sunday. I don't remember that. Maybe the reruns were Friday. Oh, you know what it was? I'm thinking of Fringe. Fringe was on Fridays. You're right. X-Files was on Sunday. Oh, so many stickers. Which one is this? 26? This one's hard to see because it's black. Oh man, so they cover it up. You do all that fun stuff there, and then boop, tile over the top of it. I stopped going to church. This is always the I'm a lapsed Catholic conversation. Probably when I was about 13 or 14. I was an altar boy, and I think I was starting to just age out. I think a lot of kids get to be about that age where they're like, you know what? I think I'm done. And I went because my parents went, and I got to an age where I'm like, I'm not finding whatever you guys are finding in this, so I'm just going to kind of bow out. But I stayed friends with the priest, actually. And when I was in college, I was sitting at the Basilica downtown Denver. And, you know, my teased out green hair and my leather jacket, my combat boots. And I'm like, I'm going to go downtown for midnight mass and watch all the crazies. And somebody had to point out that I was one of the crazies. I was like, oh, fair enough. So I went and I sat next to a guy in a denim suit who basically was reciting the entire mass. He wasn't responding, call and response. He was literally like saying everything the priest, like he had precognition about what the priest was going to say, and did the whole thing, right? I'm like, well, this is interesting. I don't know how they want this on here, but it's going like that. So I'm sitting there next to this dude. I'm just minding my own business, and this priest walks by and he stops and he comes back and he goes, Ben? And I'm like, Father Bill. And he's like, good to see you, blah, 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 catch up, talk. He's like, would you like to bring the gifts down? The gifts are when right before communion, you have a couple volunteers go to it's usually the priest says, hey, why don't you do this for us? And somebody says, that's a great idea. And you walk them down, and there's a song and prayers while it's coming up. So I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I thought that was really interesting after so many years. But yeah, that's kind of it, you know, the occasional wedding and whatnot, but oh my good gravy. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of these blue tiles. I did do CCE, which is the Wednesday night classes for a while. My mom taught, and then we had a family friend, called her Aunt Laura. She was not related to us, but we called her Aunt Laura. She taught the classes, and my mom stepped in occasionally and taught the classes. And I wasn't a real good kid when it came to that kind of stuff, so I messed around a lot, but well, this song sounds like the Terminator. And then moved to Texas, moved to Texas, and then I think I've missed a couple. Nope. Oh man. All have to come off. And then the kid's mom, we tried like joining like we wanted to kind of like have something, a church to go to or something where there was like a community, something the kids could be, if we had kids, something they could grow up with, you know. kind of a right and wrong kind of thing. And we're like, but we're not really into the dogma. She was Baptist or raised Baptist. And we're both like, can we just avoid the Christianity in some of the religions? Let's just go. So we found like a universal Unitarian church or something and went for like a hot second. And that didn't last. And then she did some pagan stuff, some Wiccan stuff, went to a couple of those things, did some circles. Some of those teachings kind of still last in her. But I almost have nothing from Catholicism other than every time somebody says, may the force be with you, I say, and also with you. That's about it. I mean, technically I've gone through all my sacraments except for there's one right before last rites, and I can't remember what it is. I think it's the one you do if you're going to become a priest or something, which I don't plan on. And some people switch it up completely. I know Beth was raised Methodist, but her mom was raised Jewish, and she converted to Methodist when she met her Beth's dad. And so Beth is like converting back to Judaism. And I say she's Jewish because she didn't finish the classes. And I kind of give her crap about that. I'm like, well, you're not really... We found out that we have a great aunt that was at one of the camps, and we thought we were like German, Nordic kind of, and then from one side of the family, the other side of the family was like pure Italian. So like we had an idea of where we had like, not paperwork per se, but like we had like the people had gone back and done the, what's the word I'm looking for? The, not the lineage. Ancestry. Family tree stuff. Oh, that's not great. What's up, Greg? Did you get your Jaws set yet? I think it's coming out Tuesday, right? It's today, yeah. So we were all like, we're Nordic, we're German, we're Italian. That's what my brother and I thought. Turns out on my dad's side, the Nordic German side, we apparently had some Jewish great aunt who was at a camp. And this is like third hand kind of thing. And after all that, they get covered up. So you do all that work and then you put this thing over the top of it. So this is just to build, like, it's there, right? The circuitry's there or whatever. So anyway, whatever it is that we are, I give Beth some crap because I'm like, I think I'm more Jewish than you are. She's not, or I'm not. Waiting for payday to get it. My mom's dad's side is Scottish. That, you gonna take some Gaelic? My mom's dad's side. Gonna take some Gaelic. I got a friend who's learning Gaelic. His family's Scottish. Beth is doing Welsh right now. Oh, if anybody's on Duolingo and wants to friend challenges and stuff, let me know. I just started back up with my French. I told Beth, I was like, I think I'm done. I think I've, oh goodness, 5 of these? Yikes. You're doing stickers for a little bit. She just started Welsh, so she's on whatever unit, right? And I started back up in French, but I'd taken a lot of it, and I kind of tested out a little bit. And I did those things where you do like the... I don't like the way that one was on there. you take the tests in Duolingo that are like the extreme, I forget what they're called, legendary quests or something like that. Oh, come on. Okay, this is great for getting underneath it, but I can't then... Oh, for Pete's sake. This is, so it's not like I don't like the way stickers look, and it's not so much that I think pieces would be better served by not having stickers. It's that it interrupts the building flow. You got to take, you know, time to put them on right, and otherwise they look junky if you don't. I'd rather trust the manufacturer to give me a printed thing, because they're going to do much better job at getting these printed and looking right than leaving it up to me to have my shaky hands try to put these on properly and possibly, you know, impact the way the model looks. Because let's face it, if you're putting stickers on, you're expecting to display this for a little bit. I don't know how many people's collections have a lot of printed or a lot of stickered pieces in them. Mine have some. Every time I run into it, I'm like, oh man, stickered piece. Although some of the older stickers, they get crunchy and fall off. All right, that was 100% unnecessary, but this'll look cool, I guess. I'm English, Scottish, Irish, maybe Roman and Nordic. Not about to speak my language. I'm not about to try another. Fair enough. We were actually joking that we were going to try English on Duolingo and see how well we did. I'm like, honestly, I bet we would suck. I bet there's something in there. They're like, that's not really how you say that. We'd be like, yeah, it is. All right, so this is going to be ×2. So I want to do Mandarin as well. I may take a break from French for a hot second, because I tested up out of it. I can speak it pretty well. It's just now it's a lack. Now it's just knowledge of, oh God, more fucking stickers. I have to do this ×6, because that's, because there's 3 of these. Yeah, it's not building experience. This is crafting at this point. If I wanted to do stickers like this, I would go back into model making. Which I might do anyway. I haven't made a model in a long time. Cutting everything off the tree, the sprue. Sanding it all down. Priming it to be painted, gluing it all together, putting effects on it. I used to have probably a dozen military aircraft models just hanging from my ceiling when I was a kid. SR-71, had an A-10 Warthog, had a A6, A4, Avenger, F-14, F-16, F-15, had a B-2. And yes, I remember all the models I had hanging in my ceiling when I was a kid. I used to love military aircraft, man. used to love model making, which is why I think I like Lego so much, because you're kind of that same feeling. Shiny. Excuse my cough. I feel like the people who are really good at stickers, I want them to come over to my house and open up a set. And I said, all right, I want you to go through the instructions and find all the pieces that have stickers and just pre-put those stickers on for me. I want to get to that piece and just add it to the model. This, I mean, for a... I don't know if this is technically... It's not. It's a Technic set. I was going to say, I don't think this is an Icons or an Expert. This is a Technic set. I feel like this is a lot of stickers for a Technic set, but I may be misremembering Technic sets. All right. So I finished up a game this weekend called Stray. That was a lot of fun. A little short. Very vibey kind of game. It's on PlayStation. I think it was on sale. Honestly, it's a little expensive for the runtime that I got off of it, but I feel it was worth it. I feel like it was worth the money paid for it. Because I had a good time playing it, and it was very well made. I don't want to give away too much, but you're basically, you start off in like a sewer pipe or something, and you're a cat, right? And so the first thing you do is learn how to control your cat. There aren't many controls. You run around, you jump on stuff. That's kind of it. If there's something you can interact with, a little triangle will show up, or a little square will prompt you to do stuff. And that's it. That's what you do. You are a little cat that runs around doing stuff. You fall. You're following... I'm so sorry, y'all. Beth and I are both having either allergic reactions or we both got some kind of bug. I can feel it in my chest. I feel like it's going to be some sort of bug, but whatever. Also, this is a little loud. So you're following all your friends. There's 4 of you. And you're following around, you're walking around, you're learning how to control stuff. You're learning that you can go up to things and claw at them. And this completely closes. You do all that work, and then that closes. Because I'm guessing it opens up later for when you need to do stuff. It needs to be powered and whatnot. So, there's that. You're walking along, you get to like these 2 pipes that are kind of not connected, and all your friends jump over, and you jump, but you mistime it, and it's your sad little face, like the camera's right here, and you're scraping, and then you just fall. And you end up falling kind of really far into a sewer area. It's funny because I'm playing, and I just go, oh no! And Beth's like, what? It's like, my cat fell! It's like, what are you doing? And then the rest of the game is kind of figuring out how to get back up to the surface. And you discover underneath where you fell is this whole world. And I kind of want you to find out on your own because it's a really lovely game. But it's not what I expected. I thought it was just going to be mostly the cat. But what you discover down there is really interesting. And it's very vibey. Like, the design is great. It all sticks with its own design. And there's a lot of, like, chill out and relax kind of moments where you can just kind of sit You don't even have to pause it. You can just find a place and sit, and nothing's really going to happen, which is kind of nice. You can just kind of take things in. So highly recommend it if you've got a PlayStation. I don't know if it's available on Xbox or Steam or anything. My wife will do a lot of my stickers. She likes to do the stickers books, so she does a good job. Man, I haven't done a sticker book in forever. That used to be the thing. And then after this, I have to actually do some work for my job, for my day job. I have to run one of these things where we've got a vendor that does our email security spam filter, basically, and they're like, you need to upgrade your controller to this because after a certain date, it's not supported anymore. I'm like, oh man, and that date's we've had this alert forever. And that date is like in 2 weeks. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this today, but I kind of gotta. So that'll be fun. And then watch Olympics. And then friends are coming over for another Doctor Who night. We're trying to catch up to Shooty, the newest Doctor on Disney. But I have a feeling once we get done with Whittaker, we're going to take a break until Shooty's got a good solid run going. Oh, I missed something. This never should be a piece that's out. Let's go back. We'll just go back a little bit, see how far back I may have missed this. Okay, let's see. It's gray. Not there. Not there. Nope. Got that. Both of those are in there. Oh wait, it's the other side. Yeah, but both of those should be in there. I think you should easily take these off. Yeah, both of those are in there. Maybe it is extra. Oh, nope. Oh, there it is. That's easy enough. He says, and then it is not, in fact, easy enough. Cool. And I gotta put this guy back on. Okay, so where were we? This guy gets put on. And then he closes up. Right. Okay, and then okay, like that. And this guy, those are done. This guy sits up in the front. There's two things go there. What? That's not going to stay on there at all. Okay, well, did something wrong. So the underside of this again. Oh, I totally did. Like that. Now, that should fit. And it does. Yep, very good. So now I got a bit in there. Cool. All right. Bag 8. That took entirely too long. 2 bags in an hour. I feel like that's an average, but I also feel like I've done better. We'll just run long today. How about that? How about we go till 1 instead? All right, is this a ×2? No. Again, thank you all for hanging out with me. I hope you have a good rest of your day after this, or having a good day. I'm not there with you. I don't know what you're doing. Ooh, this is a little crunchy. This is using. I don't like when you use the inside of the wheel well to also have 2 different bars in there. That feels like a weak connection, but I don't think it's supporting anything. There we go. It's not. Oh, it's already raised up the seats. Bloop. Well, now I can't tell. It's a clear and a black. See, this kind of stuff, these kind of instructions, I know they're pictorial, but it's very hard to tell from the images that you need, unless you're a veteran Lego builder, you know kind of what to look for. But at the same time, if I'm thinking of new builders, I would think that they would have a hard time differentiating those piece colors. And I'm going to have words with Lego about it. I'm not. Get your stuff together, man. Got a sticker incoming. I can see it. It's on this guy. Boop. Boop. Slightly off, like so. This is 13. Does it matter? Can't really tell if it matters or not. Cool. Not a ×2. I need a ×2 checker. Somebody's got my back. Let me know that we got a double build coming up. Say, hey, whoa, 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 stop. Go back 2 steps. You got a double build coming. Lots of pearl gold pieces in here. For whatever reason, the gold-plated aluminum or whatever it is, the gold foil stuff. I don't know if it's because it's light or if it was a heat thing or what, but I love that it's all over the NASA stuff. So I did get a, I got the Ahsoka, whatever this is. Ahsoka Tano's duel on Peridia for that dude, for Thrawn. And I already uploaded a want list for a ship that I'm going to do of his. It's a Dreadnought class in Legends in the EU, Star Wars EU. Let's talk about that. There's a story called the Black Fleet Crisis, or Empire's End, or something like that, where there's a secret fleet of 200 of these dreadnought ships called the Katana Fleet, which I think is hilarious that they keep giving them, like, I know it's a weird translation, and I know fans sometimes overthink things, but the fact that this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and yet they have something called a Millennium Falcon. It's like, all right, well, then you guys have Falcons. I hate this so much. So they've got a Katana Fleet, which is another word that I'm like, how do you guys know what a katana is? That was hundreds of these ships, these dreadnought ships, and they're not really dreadnoughts. They're kind of small. They're like Corvette size, but they were called dreadnought, which I don't understand. It's like the people who came up with the ship names didn't really know what ship classification was, so they just kind of named stuff. Are these? Ooh, in pearl gold and 1x6s. That's nice. So anyway, when I originally designed that ship, I was like, well, why was this ship famous? What was this ship famous for? And it turns out because Thrawn, in a story that was, EU story, had found one and recovered like hundreds of these ships, like 178, and used them against the New Republic. So I was like, well, that's perfect. This is pre me knowing that he basically had his own Star Destroyer, and I don't even think he had a Star Destroyer at that point, the Chimera. So anyway, we're going to do that ship. So that should be fun. And it's a pretty small ship, but I think it's got like 100-some piece count. But it's mostly gray, simple pieces. I probably have most of them. I'll have to wait and see. So this goes here, like that. Little laser finder. What's up, Kiwi? Yeah, there's some people in here, not a ton. Thank you for being here. Where are you coming from? What's your Lego specialty? What do you like? What are you building? What are you collecting? Oh, I know. This should be like, we should, for the Steampunk City, somebody needs to go nominate that as a part. Even the 1x4 would be good, but 1x6 specifically, I think would be amazing. I tried to nominate, like, I didn't have anything built, and I feel bad because Brian, I think, has like a lot of stuff designed. Where's this axle? A lot of stuff designed in studio already, and I don't want to take away from that, but he's got a lot of stuff already done. It's going to be bonkers. I can't wait. I don't know that it'll be bigger than the Mars base was, but I'm hopeful. The only thing that I'm worried about is being able to get people on with going to... This is kind of like, you buy into this, you're going to Houston next year. Which I'm kind of like, oh man, did I just sign up to go to Houston next year? I wasn't really planning on it, but I think now I probably am. Ooh, interesting. Got some forks in some interesting part usage here. Some parts. There we go. Maybe as an antenna or something. This is what I did on the Mars base, was just put greebling all over the place. And everyone's like, what are those for? I'm like, I don't know. But you see them on space stuff all the time. It's just like, that's an antenna, that's a heat sink, that's a, you know, that's a something. It's something important. I don't know what it is. I think I'm going to kind of just wait to see what parts are suggested and then kind of wing it. I'm basically going to reuse my Mars tower, and I'm just going to build around it. So I think I'm going to end up getting 4 of the corner plates, or maybe 2 opposing regular plates to put the tower on. And then try to build that up with some of the new parts to give it a steampunky look. And still haven't decided if I want to mechanize it at all, or what? Okay, except that piece is in the way. Oh no, it's not. I got that turned wrong. Or light it. I'd like to be able to kind of learn how to do some of this stuff. So I should have been going to the workshops at Brick Rodeo to learn about moving parts and lighting and stuff. I don't think any of it is necessarily complicated. It's just, I feel like it's a startup cost, you know? Like, I don't have any of that to start with. I don't have any motors, and I don't have any lights, and I don't have any wiring, so it's just going to be a matter of getting all that to start in a year. Turn around. Whew. Okay. Times 8. Got a lot of these arms here. Probably 8 of them. And a lot of these gold. Well, I don't think Kiwi lasted with us, but if they're still here, be interested to know if you got anything from the August release. The Lego releases. And if so, what's been your favorite so far? I don't know what I'm going to do with my tower either. Once it's up and once it's greebled with steampunky stuff. I don't know if I'm going to keep the top the way it is with the domes. I'm going to put new different domes on it. Knowing that those same domes exist in trans clear. Would be great to get later. Okay, well, settle down. I like this. They put a dish behind it, so those things only go out as far as that gray disc back there. You're not kind of trying to line it up on your own. And this goes... like that. Nope. Like that. And we'll turn it. Cool. Goes like that. So now we got these two things up here. All right, what's next? Not a ×2, good. Not really sure the kind of look that I want to go for, or like what the function will be of the thing that I'm building. I kind of want to like give it a little bit of like real world. What is this? You know, is it a museum? Is it a restaurant? Is it a dock? Is it a high-end haberdashery? I think a haberdashery would be a great thing in a steampunk city. Oh, another sticker. 19. Yeah, I've been looking at steampunk architectural style. Cool, cool, cool. I want a lot of pipes. Like, I want to put a lot of pipes on it. I mean, it's steampunk, so there needs to be pipes, because you need to carry the steam everywhere. I like what Brian's doing with his, but I think his is... I don't... Give me a minute. I'm going to have a coughing fit. I don't want to say his isn't steampunk, but I feel like his is very Elizabethan or a Victorian without necessarily being steampunk. And that's fine. But I was hoping for a little more like outlandish, because right now it literally looks like Buckingham Palace, what he's done. Which is amazing. In the short amount of time that he's done it, it looks really, really good. So I'm hoping that we can add more to it to make it, you know, and I guess that's probably fine. Why would you want to do that to me? Put that sticker on before you put the piece on, and then bury it under two other pieces. See, because now it's on crooked, and I have no way to get to it to fix it. And you know what? It's going to live there crooked. Thanks. Thanks for nothing, Lego. There's another sticker. Oh, the stickers. Savers in the world. 20. Bloop. Should be sticker placing competitions on Lego Masters. Who puts on the stickers the most straight? And we get some calipers involved to measure it. I wonder if we could do that at Brick Rodeo. So you think you're good at stickers. And have Captain America on the front of it. So you thought you put your sticker on there right. Yeah, I'm digging all the gold-plated, gold ink stuff. This is a battery. I can already tell because it's got a giant handle on it. Got a lot of switches. Bloop. Easily to take out because it's got a single stud in there. It lays in there like that. I don't know how far down that's supposed to go. And then everything gets covered. Because why not? Seriously, I put stickers on stuff that are going to be covered. That I think I'm over it. I think that's the last bit of me enjoying stickers. Whatever shred I had of that, because I mean, there's 1, 2, and these are supposed to come off relatively easy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 stickers in there that I've just covered up. Not really happy, and then I'm going to cover it with more stickers. Not super happy about that. I don't know if I'm if that's coming across or not. I know if Justin were watching, he'd be giving me a lot of guff for hating on them as much as I do, but when you put 5 stickers on something that's no one's ever going to see except the one building it. Like, I get it. That's part of the fun, is building a thing going, ooh, I know what's in there. It's some control panels and a lot of stuff. Oh, God, every step. 11 and 12. You couldn't have printed any of this? And I'm not condoning, like, I'm not saying don't ever make a sticker or a tile or anything like that. That's on there? Okay. But seriously, if you're going to cover it up, why do it? I mean, who's going to pull their friends aside and say, this bit's really cool? Or somebody sees it on a shelf and goes, hey, that's a neat set. And you're like, would you like to see the inside of it? And they'd be like, what? And you're like, it's got all these stickers printed. And they'd be like, no, you know, it looks cool on the shelf, but I don't need to see all the working circuitry and stuff. When did I miss that? Oh, because I was so busy ranting about the stickers. Yeah, it is kind of dumb. I agree. I need to be able to write a strongly worded letter. These are all going to be spares here, so we're almost done with this bag. Half-hour bag, man. It's going to be forever. And this is going to go here, like that. It's in the front. Okay, there's a lot of extra pieces in that. I have a whole huge pile of extra pieces over here I need to sort through. Alright, this does not involve the buggy. So let's kind of push this guy off. Get a little more room here. So is everybody caught up on Marvel stuff? Now that Wolverine and Deadpool has been out for a while. Did you watch all your videos about the multiple timelines, multiple universes, and whatnot? It is, even for me, it's a little confusing. I just kind of like to watch it for the fun and the action. If I start thinking about why things are happening certain ways, I get really kind of bent out of shape because it's a lot to deal with. Well, this isn't right. It's because I didn't put those in right. Off to a great start here. I'm still not convinced that the Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark was a good idea, but I didn't read the comics. I don't know the history of Victor Von Doom. I don't know why they think it's gonna be fine to have RDJ as Doom. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Also, it may be a stunt. It may be a misdirect. I just hate that I feel like they can clap their hands and be, you know, multiverse. So I'm not really into it yet, just yet. But also, I know that Marvel is probably scrambling pretty hard to be out of the Jonathan Majors Kang the Conqueror storyline that they've worked up to for at least a couple movies. And they're probably like, well, gotta start over. Might as well. Let's bring somebody in who we know isn't like a problem. So who knows? I don't think we'll get a Miss Marvel second season, but I would love it if we did. Miss Marvel was a great show. I know Agatha Harkness's show is coming out pretty soon, right? I know it's August sometime. I just don't remember what date. So that'll be fun. I like Han a lot. Forget her first name now. Catherine. I like Catherine Hahn a lot. Beth loves her. She loved that character that she portrayed too. She really dug that. Hence why our dog is named Agatha. Got a lot of these pieces in this set. These weird, like, small door flap Technic things. In Nougat. Odd building stuff. Thanks for doing that first. I feel like that should have been first to hold all that in place, but you know, you do you. Submodel of submodel of submodel. I don't know what this music is. I'm kind of here for it. It feels like a soundtrack to a really late 80s computer hacker movie. Like Hackers. Oh, and okay. And now we're doing another submodel. What? So let's see. What is coming next for Lego? What's the next big thing that everybody's expecting? Is it an art piece? Is it a oh, you know what? So I think like the Batman the Animated Series car just came out. So I think people are going to be getting that. Botanicals are out. A bunch of Monkey Kid stuff's out. But like, is anybody expecting anything by the end of the year? I haven't seen any real news about anything new. August is generally, January and August are like the big release dates. And then something for Star Wars usually, but so in May. So those are your release times. I don't know that they've got anything in line for Christmas other than maybe the advent calendars. The advent calendars, put a reminder on your calendar. Those start coming out in September. So keep an eye out for that. If you're an advent calendar person, I usually get advent calendars because I like getting the figures. And then every year I would do shorts. I would do YouTube shorts with opening up one each day. But I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. It seems kind of... I don't much like the advent calendars. I think the idea is kind of clever, but I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. We did Tifo painting for Austin FC. The supporter group, Los Verdes, has started up again, the Tifo group. And I was able to get in early on it and do some tracing. So they have the image of what they want to do for the Tifo, and they grid it out. And then they get a bunch of muslin and sew it together. Is it muslin? Forget the material. And then they stretch it. They have a whole process where it's all sewn. They get big strips of it and they sew it together. And then they stretch it out. They tension it. And then they'll chalk line it. They'll do their snap chalk lines to make a grid, right? And then on the grid, you take the grid from the image and transfer it onto the large thing. So when I got there, like I had never got there early enough in the process to be able to do any of that. And when I got there yesterday, it was one other lady was there, and she's always kind of part of the group. There's definitely like people who are always part of that group. And the some of it hadn't been drawn yet. Like when we usually get there when it's all already drawn. It's markered out. And all we have to do is like, it's paint by number. You just show up and they hand you a paintbrush and a cup full of a color. And then they go, all right, you're this color black or you're this gray. Go where that section, anywhere that says 2, paint on it. And you're like, sweet. And it's very mindless and there's music playing and a lot of people chatting and it's kind of fun. But I got there yesterday and there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't done being drawn yet. I was like, oh, I like this. Can I do this? And they're like, yeah, here's a marker and a ruler and whatever. So I was like, that's cool. So I told them after the end, I was like, yeah, if you guys need tracers next time, let me know. And they all kind of looked at each other like, you're on our tracing crew now. I was like, what? They're like, nobody likes doing that. I'm like, why? It's super fun. Apparently it's pretty stressful because if you get it wrong, you know, it's like you mess up. I'm like, you don't have to worry about messing up. We're painting over it. Whatever mistakes you make, just kind of cross out that line and do it right, and you're fine. But so I think I've been promoted to trace crew. But we knocked out quite a bit of what was needed for this one, so it'll be a surprise. I can't say anything about it. There's an NDA that you can't talk about it or take any photos until like game day when it's like unveiled for everybody. So if you want to keep an eye on, I think it's a very special one this time. They all are. They all have meaning and they're all great. Like I keep telling people that I want to do one, but I don't have anything like interesting to contribute to the whole thing. It would just be me going, hey, I think this looks cool. You know, as the cis male, the white cis male of the supporter group, I'm kind of like, I'll defer to whatever y'all want, and then I will happily follow along. But it's gonna be great. Follow along on their socials, and you'll see what I mean. I think it's end of August is when it's gonna go up, so I for sure have to go to that game. The U.S. women's national team beat Japan yesterday in a very long game. It went to extra time. Thankfully, it didn't go to penalty kicks. I hate games ending in penalty kicks. But they scored in the 117th minute. So they were 3 minutes away from having to go to penalty kicks. So I'm really happy that they didn't. All right, this goes here. And then this gets pushed in there. And again, it was Trinity Rodman. In Trin we trust. She had cranked a really wicked shot. The keeper actually had a hand on it and everything, but it still went in. And there was talk that it was going to be offside, and there was a handball involved, but it all came out good. So we're moving on in the Olympics to play Germany. Germany also had a very long game against Canada. I don't know where this goes. That did go to penalty kicks, and it was Germany and Canada. I was kind of rooting for Canada, but Canada had beat the U.S. We'd already played Germany and we'd beat them once, so we're kind of like, all right. I'd rather play them. But I felt bad for Canada, especially the players, because of the whole drone scandal in the Olympics. I feel like punishing them, which it didn't really matter at the end of the day because they got into the semifinals, right? The point deduction didn't, in fact, hurt their chances to get into the semifinals. And then they lost in the semifinals. So, I mean, they did what they could. But I felt bad for the team, or for the players at least, because it's not necessarily their fault that the coaching staff was doing that. Yes, they probably benefited from it a little bit, but I mean, it's not, the players don't go into the day thinking that the coaching staff is giving them information because they spied on another team. They're just, it's a mark of faith and trust to go in saying, I trust what you're telling me is in the best interest of me and my team. Oh, I hate these things. I hate them so much. These pieces can go kick rocks. I hate these. I hate putting them into things. They're just so bad on the fingers. So anyway, Canada didn't win, and I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, time to move on. So we will be moving on Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Little munchkin came in. Oh no. Oh, no. All right, well, I missed this symbol right here. This all needs to be taken out. Why do that? Why not just leave it with that orientation? Stupid POS. It's like, why does that look funny? All right, that should be all right. And we've got this. And we got this. We got. And we got to do this again. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah, I'm very excited for the U.S. women's national team. The men are out. They lost their match against Morocco. They just didn't look very good. They had some spark, but not enough. And then after a while, the game kind of got out of control, and Morocco just kind of hosed everybody. So they're the team to beat, though, in the men's side. It's funny because I've been watching so much women's sports between the U.S. women's national team and the PWHL for hockey that now when I watch men's sports, I'm kind of like, oh, aren't they cute? Especially because they dive so much. Like, men's hockey is still, like, the toughest thing, except for maybe women's rugby. But I get so tired of the theatrics of them just diving every time they get hit. And they do it because they get an advantage, right? Because if you fall over and you grab, even if you just get pushed from the back, you fall over, you grab your shin, and you writhe in pain, and the ref gives you a penalty, right? Or gives them a penalty. And then you get advantage, right? Everybody has to move. You get kind of a kick to wherever you want. And I'm like, if they stopped doing that, these players would stop diving all the time. And it's just hilarious because you don't see it in the women's teams. They just don't do that. And it just looks goofy and it looks silly and it looks like they're just such prima donnas, and it's so distasteful to watch. Now, there are times when you really get hit, right? But if you really get hit and it's really going to be a penalty, the ref will call it. You know, you don't have to sell it. I think selling it is what gets on my nerves, and I think they should start penalizing that more. They do sometimes, but I wish they would do it more. Look, I was going to call that anyway. I keep joking. I'm like, you need to red card every cell of a penalty. You want more people to watch your sport? Turn the theatrics off. All right, I think this lines up like this. Make sure I got it on right. Oh, such Technic sandwich. Look at this. Would you want to build this? I don't even know how somebody thinks this far. This must have just been the most intense design sessions to get this thing completed. I mean, it's probably just as bad as the Perseverance one, but man. It reminds me of the Pipes screensaver from early days of Windows. I'm like, I didn't miss a step. There's nothing there. So I agree, Missy. I don't see anything else that I really want for the rest of the year. They haven't really come out with anything that I've really wanted, which is good. So now I can continue to save for both a UK trip and the Venator, if I can get to it before it retires. Because once it retires, there's no getting it. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on a Lego set that retired. If I don't get it before it retires, I'm not going to get it. Unless I can find it on Bricklink somewhere where it's... I would not mind getting an opened but complete anything, right? It's not a pride thing. It's like I don't want to have to be brand new with it. The problem with those is you got to wait. Like if you want, like I'm excited to get this because it came out. I'm like, I want to build it. It's exciting. I want to do that. It looks cool. But if you got the ability to postpone that and delay your gratification, start building want lists on Bricklink and just say when, there's ways to put in email alerts. If ever this comes up, if this set comes up with these conditions, email me. And I think I might start doing that because there's things that I want, but there's things that I'm not really willing to pay huge amounts for, especially considering once it's on clearance somewhere, I'm probably not going to find it. People will get to it before I do. But I wouldn't mind an open box set. As long as everything's there, send it to me in Ziploc bags. I don't care. I'll get instructions for it. Just as long as the pieces are all there. I don't really care any other reason why. To that effect, I still haven't found a UCS Y-Wing that's an open container or opened previously. So I'm still looking for that. The reason I thought up to bring up the TIFO thing is because this music, somebody had a playlist they were listening to while we were painting and stuff. And it sounded very much like OMD or Depeche Mode or something. And I told him, I was like, this reminds me of my clubbing days in college. And they're like, yeah. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm so much older than all these people. They're probably like, no, it doesn't. These songs, this all just came out. Like, no, it didn't. I don't even think it was old Depeche Mode or OMD or whatever. But it just sounded like it. Speaking of nostalgia stuff, when is the next and final series of Stranger Things coming out? Isn't that supposed to come out soon? I know Beth's watched or is watching or whatever Cobra Kai, and I couldn't. I think we talked about this. I don't think I could finish that. I told her, I was like, I don't think this is for me. We're getting ready for dinner and she's like, do you want to watch a Cobra Kai? I'm like, honestly, no. Like, I don't care. All I do is make fun of it when we watch it. Wow, there's going to be a lot of stuff that no idea what's going to happen. Oh. 2 more bags after this bag. Oh. I think we have a rubber band in here. So yeah, I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I know I generally don't do really long streams, so it was like 2 hours, but let's see if we can... I think I'd like to finish this today, if y'all don't mind. At some point, I may need to take a quick break. I need to flip laundry and maybe use the facilities. Oh, go! Look at that. Another one of them in a different color. These were shockingly very available in different colors. So if you're looking for a cool, like, new piece, this is definitely a cool piece. Sorry, checking my phone to make sure there's no important messages from family members. I don't have any plans. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So we got an email from the Discovery Center in San Antonio, the Lego Discovery Center. And they had invited us to come have a table at their adult night. And I'm like, that sounds great. I was like, I don't know that I want to do it, but I'll definitely let my lug know. And I have not heard back from anybody. So it doesn't look like anybody's gonna go to that. I feel like I'm already doing a lot of the display stuff for events that aren't Brick Rodeo, and I'm kind of like, I want other people to get involved. So if they don't, I'm not gonna do it just to make sure that we're involved. If it's something a lot of people don't want to do, then we don't do it. Easy enough, right? I would rather have a clamor for it and have to be like, honestly, we only need X number of people. So let's limit it to 3 or something versus absolutely nobody. So hopefully that'll change. We do have a lot of people and they're all very active, but I feel like everybody's active in the meetings. And that's about it. But they're also very active in the acquiring of parts for lug bulk and project support. So hopefully that translates into a little more. I have no idea where this goes. It just sits in there. Oh, okay. So look at this. This is so strange. Okay, we got this little pocket in here. You can see that where my finger is. This just sits in there. It just sits in there, right? And then you close these, and that's how it fits in there now. Now it's in there. How do you even... I don't know. This is so far beyond me. I mean, this is literally rocket science. There's another one. This just gets held up like that. Just gets held in place. And we're going to do another one that just gets held in place. And another one. These were down already. These must be some part of a larger... They're not, though. Okay. I don't think any of those move or attach to anything. I think they're just, like, sitting there. Which is fine by me. Because I don't have to worry about... Did I line this up correctly or not? So yeah, I don't know if anybody else in the Austin area has had their allergies kicking their butt, but Beth and I have just been struggling. I know the Saharan dust has been a big deal lately, but I think that's kind of blown through already. So we're just left with whatever is regular Austin crud. I have just had just the worst chest congestion, and we're both like trying to go to sleep without having to take all the Benadryls and all the cough. I'm taking a cough medicine now just to keep me from coughing so much. Hey! Thanks for popping in. I hope things are going well in Brick Fair, Virginia, Johnny. I caught up on a couple of the on-demand things for the prize giveaways. The Hoth base looks great, and I hope you're enjoying your time there. So thanks for stopping in, and hopefully we'll see you when you get back home on your regular streaming. It's very, very nice of you to pop in to say hi. I meant to pop into Valter's stream the other day. It was only a half hour. They were working on some brick heads, and they were over real quick. So I was like, oh, man. It was like 35 minutes. And I was like, missed it. Oh, you know what set I didn't get? Just realized. I need to go back and get the Ankylosaurus. I wanted to get that. This doesn't connect to anything. This probably needs to be... There we go. Right there. Yeah, it's just sitting there. Okay, for now. I wanted to get the Ankylosaurus. It looked really cute, so I want to get that. This reminded me of like a little spiky dinosaur tail, so... Oh, cheeky. So, because you've got a grippy middle part of this, and then a pin kind of in the middle of the anti-studs, you can do this job right here. So keep that in mind for build techniques. 1x3 panel, not super common. I think I have a couple, but it's not terribly common. You're out of state, so you missed the Saharan dust. I don't, and I say that. I say, you know, I always say, well, Saharan dust, allergies, mold, whatever, and I never think, well, it doesn't affect me all that much. Meanwhile, like, I'm constantly congested, and I'm having these major coughing fits. But I'm like, yeah, that's not affecting me. This goes like, it bends down like that one way and drops in like that. Okay. And then we've got a 5. Allergies are so weird. Like, when growing up, I didn't have, I don't think I had any when I was a kid in Colorado. Not a ton to get allergic to in Colorado. There was hay fever. You get a lot of grass allergies. You can have tree allergies, just like kind of anywhere. It kind of depends on your level of allergy. But I never really had any of the... Oh, these are tools. These are things that they pull out, and that's why they're in there like that, so they can pull them out and use them, is going to be my guess. So, never any sneezing problems, headaches, fever, congestion, things like that, outside of like getting sick with something like pneumonia or... See, that's a 3 and that's a 5. And then I moved to Texas, and right away everyone's like, oh, the cedar fever is going to get you, or wait till flu season, or, the mold is really high. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get any of that. And of course I say that because I'm going off the idea that I haven't had it before in a different part of the country. But my lack of object permanence meant that when it actually did happen, I'm like, this is really weird that I'm suddenly sick all the time. So it took about 10 years because I moved to Houston in 97 and moved to Austin in 99. I wasn't in Houston very long. Yeah, it was about 7 or so years ago that I started really getting, end of year colds and lots of allergies, and it was just bad all around. And now I know why people call into work, because at first I was like, you don't call into work when you've got cedar fever or something. I was like, that's a dodge. That's like whiskey fever or something. No, it's real. It sucks. And I have called in. That's so pretty looking. That slope. It's very Iron Man, like early Iron Man movie. Cool. I will say the build techniques on this have been fairly... what? Oh, this is holding moon rocks. So now I got to build moon rocks. So I need a couple of these and a couple of these. It's kind of weird that it does this, but whatever. The building techniques on this haven't been super complicated, and despite me not liking Technic, it hasn't been like a whole lot of complicated build stuff, so I appreciate that. It's not nearly as geared as other things could be, so I'm like, what does this all have to do? And you just dump this all in here, apparently. There's your moon rocks. You got a backpack full of moon rocks. Oh, and we're going to do it again. So now we get 2 of these, which means we're going to get a lot of extra pieces. This and round. 2 rounds. And this. And that. This is another thing that's going to be really weird. See that little thing right there? It's full of moon rocks. What? Provided they all fit in here. And they do. So you get a backpack full of moon rocks. And this gets hung right here. Like so. So that's going to be a tool belt. It's going to be a tool rack for stuff. Ooh, a microphone. Used as not a microphone. And one of these newish, not so new anymore, probably bent bar things. That just sits in there like this. There's a lot of things just kind of sitting in here. I'm a little worried about picking this up if there's just going to be a lot of things just sitting in here. But I guess we'll see what happens, right? Huh. It's a nice yellow rubber band. 2 of them. Okay, this is interesting. You feed it through. Which is surprisingly easy. You loop that one side here and you loop the other side around here like a so. And then what do you do? I don't understand this. Okay. So nothing, the view didn't change, so what changed? The view did change. Oh, I got it. Boy, this rubber band is going to break pretty soon. That's crazy. That's some tension. Get another rubber band over the top. You go here, and then here. Let's untwist that. And the same thing. Go stretch that. Well, if the rubber band doesn't break, these clips might after a time. All right, well, there's that. I've never built anything like that before. That's crazy. So weird. And again, it's just to sit in here like a tool. Wait, this is wrong. That they're going to use at some point, probably. Uh-oh. I have an extra one of these. I don't think that's meant to happen. These I get. That's all good. But a long bar like this? I don't think I missed a bar. This is all gray. That's all gray. Huh. It is an extra bar. Not there. Not there. Not there. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's really weird. I don't believe that. I think that's a lie. I think something's going to bite me in the ass in a little bit. But anyway, second to last bag. Here we go. We should be able to finish now by 1. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, that never happens. It's going to be one of those where, like, later down the line, it's going to be like, oh, you didn't put this bar here? Well, then this whole contraption's not going to work. You're going to have to go back 300 steps to fix it. And because it's Technic, you got to take this all apart. All right, this all looks fairly safe. It looks very system. I'm having a hard time adjusting to blue, but we'll figure it out. It's not, I don't see it over here. There it is. I almost never get an extra part that big when building. And if I do, it's because I missed something somewhere, but went back and checked. Seemed all right. I'm gonna need a ton of these. Oh, ×4. Whoops. Well, these are gonna be batteries. Gonna be a battery sled. I can tell. What was I just saying? About... Nope, it's gone. Oh, these levers / antennas. The microfighter that I'm making, I'm using those as turrets. The Dreadnought ship has a ton of blister sections that are these turrets that I'm going to use those little antenna levers. Hopefully I've got them in gray. I know I have a lot of them in black. I have some yellow. I think I've got gray. But I think I've got like, it's like 6 on each side or something, so I'm going to need a lot. Haven't actually seen one of these in a little bit. They seem like a throwback piece. I know they're still used for like radio antenna and things like that, but gear shifts. And here, this will probably be an extra one. So we got 4 batteries. I'm just assuming these are batteries. I don't know what else they would be. It looks like these are car batteries. Yeah, these aren't staying on. Okay. And then this guy. He goes here. Okay. We get a claw, mountain piece / claw, as I like to call them. I can feel my chest starting to like... It's not a good feeling. I've had pneumonia and bronchitis enough and other things enough to know when this is going to be an issue. Ooh, this is going to be a big rock. This is cool. So they're using these snot bricks like rotationally. So you can see like one side, they're kind of upside down. So you get a snot section on both sides. That's pretty cool. And there's a rock. And it just sits in that crate like that. They're just holding the rock. So there you go. I love the mystery and the sort of the cult. Not cult. I don't know. I don't really know what words I'm trying to go with here, but the the fact that blue as a color was one of the last colors humans figured out. Like it's hard to print in blue for some reason, or it's hard to recreate versus all the other colors apparently. Which I think is really interesting because, I mean, coming out of caves, the first thing you see is the sky. It's so big, right? Why wouldn't you want to like recreate that? Maybe it's just very hard. I don't know. Getting the right, you know, stone or the right flower to have that pigmentation. Some silver Technic toe balls. That's kind of nice looking. Oh, that's kind of a cool thing. I don't know if you can tell, but the they're showing you that because there are white and clear 1x2 tiles, the instructions are showing you that these are clear by putting it on a background. I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. I mean, I could kind of see it from this anyway, but in a print version, I'm guessing that's very helpful. Oh, this must be the gyroscope. The internal guidance. That's pretty cool if that's the case. Just a guess, I don't know. It feels like that's a gyroscope. Another sticker, not happy about. Coming up. more and more I deal with stickers, the more I try to take a stance of just get it on there, don't worry about it too much. Oh, I need to put those on. It's like kind of trust your gut and just go with it. That seems to work pretty well. If you linger a little too long, sometimes it makes it a little harder to get everything in place. Yeah, and you can tell in this one, these are white. So that's pretty cool. A little effect. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it's chef's kiss. Well done. This is me appreciating good user experience, good UX. Almost got a TARDIS feel going on with this. It's a blue box. Stand it up. Oh, I've never seen that piece in that color before. It's neat. A lot of these Technic sets always have surprises because I don't do Technic a whole lot, so I don't have any idea if these pieces actually are in that color or not. Oh, no. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Oh my god. Oh, the fingers. So the hardest piece in the world to get into a Technic brick, but then you have to line up these other two pieces as you're doing it. So dumb, as Shorzy would say. Oh, I need to go watch more Shorzy. I watched one episode and realized that I am behind on that. Oh god, this could have been printed. Come on now. And on the instructions, it's so small you can't really even see sometimes what orientation you want on it. Yep, there's that last one. All right, I think I'm done with all stickers except for panels. I think that's all I've got left is giant panels. So we're getting pretty close to being done. And again, here's another sticker that's being covered. You only see it if you open it. All right, and this goes, turn this around. And it sits in here. Extra pieces. Last bag, bag 12. Thank you for hanging out with me. Probably isn't my longest stream, but it will get up there. Definitely be ranked among them. I hope this will show what... Okay, so before I do this, I think this is going to show me how to put it on the buggy. So this closes up. And this goes down to hold it. And then this goes on the back of the buggy. I keep calling it a buggy. It's a rover. Ooh, and I almost tumped over my my microphone there. So this goes on the back. There are going to be several things to hold it on here. I like how it's pointing to a thing underneath it that you can't see. It's like, well, that's great, but I can't see that. All right, sits there in there on the back, just like that. This all comes off, and it's got tools and stuff that can be used. All these things. I still don't know why there were so many things in here. Do you remember when we... So this all comes off, and then this thing opens, and then this thing will swing open. All these bits in here, it's like, are those all tools? Those must all be tools that they use. Because I thought it was like a gearing system or something, but it's not. They're just sitting there because it's a tool rack, and they open it up to pull out whatever studied things they need. And I think this is all going to be signage, so I think we're good. I think there was a space launch today. SpaceX was launching something, or it was a launch test. I didn't see. I think the weather may have been a little bad, so I don't know if it actually launched or not. Get these out because it's going to be all that's left. Get these out because it's going to be all that's left. Got 4 of these signs, 4 fat stickers to show you different aspects of the buggy. It's so weird. Buggy. It's not a buggy. It's a rover. It's a roving vehicle. It's an LRV, a lunar roving vehicle. Nobody's corrected me, but at some point somebody's going to go, you keep calling it a buggy. It's not a buggy. I'm like, yeah, but it looks like a dune buggy, doesn't it? Oh, these are all going to be black, and they're going to be hard to find. Get rid of some of these. And I need these guys. Hey, guys. It's going to be a lot of work just to make a couple signs, I'll tell you that. You don't brick build these. You can, and you choose not to. You woke up and chose violence. All right, so we're kind of wrapping this up. It's still going to be a little bit till it's done, but I want to start talking about what's next. Since this is kind of a big build, it took up a couple streams. What we're looking forward to. I haven't heard back from Thundercloud on the sub sandwich yet. I'm hoping I can hear back from them soon and we can order the parts. For some reason it was very hard to get on there. So hopefully I'll be able to get that built for them at some point. But again, I haven't heard back. I hope they like it. They said they liked it. I just, you know, need to get the okay to order the parts and get like a way to pay for it and all that, because I'm not paying for it myself. So once I hear from them, we'll get working on that. Unless they want to put it together, in which case gonna have to figure out a way to get instructions for them or work with them to get it built. New microfighter, since I got that Thrawn figure, I'll source those parts out, maybe build it on stream soon. And then yeah, business as usual. Get some design time in studio going again. I was talking to Johnny about stuff. And he agrees we should try to get some more of the studio streams where me and him and Vab have like a theme that we work on together. And see what we come up with. That was fun. It's still that like group chat feel like a lot of channels do, but it's actually not producing something, but it's very much, ooh, yellow claws. Look at those. Man. These would have been great for Horizon stuff. But it's fun to see things being produced and things being kind of worked on and learning a trade. So we'll see. Hopefully that's something that we can get working on. I know Vab's been busy. I know Kodiak's been busy, but we'll see. Or maybe we get some new people on. I don't know. Oh. A lot of these shield pieces being used in the back. All right, there's one sign. I don't know what that's going to be for yet. Oh, this is it goes under here. So there's your one ish. Limited table space. So my guess is this is going to sit like that. So that's cool. It won't go anywhere. Oh, and this will be, okay, so I'm making a frame for the other signs for all the other components. There's going to be nowhere I can put this. Stuff's going to have to go over onto my bigger shelf over here now. This is just going to be too small to hold it all. Although I can get rid of some of these birds and things over here. Maybe I'll put it over there, but I'm at the point where I can't display things anymore. So, gonna have to be a change. It's a good problem to have, but at the same time, I don't want to not keep buying sets. I just have to figure out a better way to work within my means to and my space to get rid of some sets, sell them, store them. I don't want to store them. Like, I'd rather just sell them. I'll keep some for parts, but like at the end of the day, if I need parts, I'm just going to order from Bricklink. My microphone has been moved far away. Sorry. I'd rather just order stuff from Bricklink. I hope that didn't disconnect the sound too much. I like being able to source some parts, but not, I don't have to do every little thing. So I'm okay getting rid of some things. And I've got so much to sort as it is from bulk and old sets that sometimes if I've got something that's been on a display, like the globe, I think I'd be okay with getting rid of the globe. It's been on display for a while. It can go now. I think the ship in a bottle probably go, although I need to clean up the top. I need to clean up the clear, trans clear pieces. Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, I just moved it and I realized I may have stretched the cable a little bit. This isn't going to be like a fun build or anything, so I'm sorry if it's not up here. Try to get a little more visible here. But yeah, sometimes you just kind of look around your setup and go, yeah, I've looked at that thing long enough. It can go, somebody else can have it now. Especially if it's retired. The globe isn't retired yet. So I may hold off on that for a bit. So I may just store it. I don't really have a way to store things though. I need to get rid of some stuff in the build area to be able to store things. It's just a cyclical problem. Never going to be really ahead of the curve on that. You're always just going to kind of be juggling what you have in storage, what you have on display. And the display is really only for me and shock value when we have company come over. Nobody's really going to linger and go, show me everything. I only had one person do that, and they were in my lug. They came over to work with, we were going to work on something together, and they came in and just were like walking everywhere. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with you. And then I realized that's what I would want to do. So I'm like, yeah, okay, go. And of anybody who knows the sanctity of the Lego room, it would be another lug member. Hey, Macro, how's it going? I think also it depends on... Ooh, 6. It depends on if the set's retired. Like, I don't want to try to sell something to somebody that's still available on even Amazon, unless the one on Amazon is like 3 times as much. And then I'd be like, all right, this one's open. It's been built. It may be a little faded. I dusted as best I could. You know, you can have it for half of what you can get it for Bricklink or whatever. I bought it. I built it. It brought me joy looking at it for a little bit. I'll sell it to you for cheap. You know, that kind of stuff. Like Cliff got all my cars, or most of my cars. And then a local reseller got the rest. It's hot everywhere, Macro. I empathize with you. It says it's 94 here, and it's only about 1 o'clock. But I know if we go outside, it's going to be closer to 100 with whatever percent, 70% humidity or something. It's just, it's so dumb. So dumb. Sorry about the women's national soccer team against Germany the other day. That was a heartbreak. I was kind of pulling for them. Actually, I kind of was and I kind of wasn't. I root for Canada in most things, especially women's soccer and the hockey teams and stuff. But I was kind of like, well, we've already played Germany. We beat them once already, so I'd be okay playing them again. Don't necessarily want to play against the recent world champions and get clobbered. So, but that does suck. It is nice and sunny though. So I'm happy that I can keep I'm trying to whiten some parts outside. So as long as it stays sunny, I don't really care. Oh no, Cliff, how's it going? You were here for a while. You came back. Yeah, having so I grew up in Colorado, and Macro may get this. I don't know. There's no central air. There's no central AC in houses in Colorado. At least when I was growing up, there wasn't. Some people may have had a swamp cooler, which really only cooled like that one hallway it sat in. But you didn't have central air. You had window units, and they would be in one room in the house, and then everybody would be in that room. And you'd keep the door closed in that room. So it was usually our TV room. And you just go in there and blast that AC and sit there and watch TV all day. And it was great. But so when I moved down here, this is a 5. Yeah. Every time it gets real hot, my parents always ask, "Now you have AC, right?" I'm like, "Of course I have AC." But then I forget we didn't have that growing up. I'm like, I wouldn't go anywhere if there weren't AC in the house, in the car, and where I work, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you have a window unit, maybe. What we did have in Colorado that you don't really have here in some places, a furnace. Because it's so hot here. And then like when it gets cold, it gets down to like, sometimes it gets really cold. But everybody would have a furnace. A lot of space heaters here because people don't have furnaces. So it's just different. There's also water heating. I had an apartment that had floor heaters that were basically like it was heated water that kind of ran through it all. And then that like the heat from that came out of those areas, which was fine unless you were my roommate and you put all my LPs in a stack next to those things, and it warped all my records. I was like, were you not thinking when he's like, he was helping, he was cleaning for once. And, I was like, you put the plastic next to the thing that gets hot and humid. Oh, I didn't really think about that. Of course not. So that's interesting. Some people have that. I started thinking the other day of the things that I grew up with that aren't really a thing anymore. Somebody had said that they got a milk delivery and everyone freaked out. They're like, you have a milk delivery? And they're like, yeah, we have a milk box out front and we just have a milkman show up and bring us, you know, it's a local dairy or whatever. And they're like, that is so weird. And I'm thinking, we had a milk box growing up. It's not that weird. We got a gallon of whole, a gallon of skim, and a half gallon of chocolate. So wooden box out by the front door. Sometimes they were plastic containers, sometimes they were glass. Depends on the dairy you went through. Just get everything from the grocery store now, so. Well, now my whole collection at that point was probably about 20 records, but yeah, it was most of them. And I'm okay with it now because 10 of them were Bill Cosby records. So as much as I hated that, now I'm looking back on it going, well, I can never really listen to these again anyway. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with them. Like, I still have them. It's like, what do you do with Cosby records? Your family was the milkman on a dairy farm? That's rad. That's super rad. All right, so it shows you to attach it. And then it shows you to... Oh, okay, push these in. All right. I kind of didn't like that last song. Seemed a little much. Seemed like it was trying too hard. I say as a person who's made zero music in my life. Oh no, that one. So yeah, we're just at the signage portion of the build. This is just to get all three of the other signs that talk about the components. The rover's already built. It's just over here waiting to get all its the remaining signage put in. Because this is what's called the fun part. Beth should be home pretty soon. Nope, I haven't got a text. Maybe she would not. She went to go see Deadpool again. She justifies it by saying that she had to go pee during one of the scenes. And she came back and goes, "What'd I miss?" And I was like, "Only," and I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it yet. It was like, only one of the best scenes in the movie. She's like, "Really? Dang it." I'm like, "Hey man, you're the one who went to the bathroom. Congratulations on being a slave to your bladder." Which is not a bad thing to be. You don't want to ruin that growing up, growing old. So yeah, like I said, coming up, we'll do some more design work. I don't know when I plan on getting back into the Q2 stadium, but I want to. I've been watching, is it Schmego or Schlego or something like that? This guy, I think I've linked him on this before, but he's designing a minifig scale stadium. And it's not like based off anything. It's just a minifig scale stadium. And in the end zone, it says like Brick Hawks or something. So, and he does update videos every time he's got something to add to it. It's going to have a roof. It's fairly large. Like it's pretty good size. And I know that, Lego Ideas. Oh no. Well, that's not right. I don't think I did that right. Yeah, I don't think I did that right. Yeah, that needs to go like that. And then, anyway, sorry. There's a Lego Ideas challenge where it's build a sporting location. And I was like, hey, I know this guy. So I tried to let him know. I was like, you should totally do this. But it also has inspired me to keep working on the stadium. And I was like, I need to keep working on that. Yeah, we try to do, so we don't do a ton of movies anymore. We kind of make an event out of it. We'll go with our friends or something. And, crap. But we'll go to this brewery. It's a brewery movie house that has pretty good food. Like, it's not amazing food or anything, but it's good enough to get you through a movie. But their beers are pretty good, so we'll go to that. And I always enjoy getting... They have a thing called the 10-Day Scottish Ale, and it's just kind of a darker beer. It's really delicious. We'll go do that. But yeah, that's kind of like a... It's a bit of a date night thing, because it is a little expensive. But I also don't mind just going to like a middle of the day... just to see a movie. Sometimes I'll take a long lunch at work. Slow day. Go take a lunch and be like, I'll be right back. Especially working from home. Go see a movie. Well, this is going to be a lot of wrap up to kind of like display everything, and a little worried that I haven't used that piece yet, but we'll figure it out. Haven't gone to the movies in a long time. Is it just because you're not a huge movie fan, or it's hard to get to, or... For the longest time, my dad would say, I can't remember what movie we went to. It was a decade ago or something. Or maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I forget. But he was very fond of saying, the last movie, I haven't been to a movie theater in forever. The last movie I went to was Jurassic Park. And every time we would talk about movies, he would say that. We're like, yes, Dad, I know. Jurassic Park. We got you. Yeah, I think I'm a little worried that I missed a piece somewhere. I mean, it doesn't seem like I did, but... Slot that in there. Put a bunch of claws in here. Burp. So we're doing stickers, panels, and then we'll be done. Just after 1, so 3 hours. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking with me for this. I kind of wanted to show the wheels being put on the thing because they are very iconic for this set. So I'm glad everybody stuck around for that. I don't see where I may have missed anything. All right, so we've got one panel here that's... We still got a few minutes. 18. That's 4. 18. I feel like we should put the sticker on before we put those panels, those shields on the back. NASA Apollo 17. So here's some Lunar Communications relay unit. All right, that's going to be one unit. That's going to go on here. And so once all the signs are up, I'm sure the instructions will be like, all right, here's what goes on next. So this will be another one. And I'm going to put the sticker on before I put the shields on. This will be 21. Oh, I think I hear Beth. Hey. Yeah, I was close to being done, so I wanted to finish it. And Technic takes a little longer than normal, so... How was the movie?
It was great again.
Did you see the bit?
I saw the bit.
Isn't it great?
It was so good.
See, I don't... This is wrong.
Are you almost done?
Yeah, I've just got a couple stickers to put on and I'll be done. Let me guess, you're going to go take a nap?
Yeah, but I need...
Okay. Well, I'm going to have a sandwich or something, so... Because we're going to order tonight, probably. I love movies, rather watch movies in comfort of my own home. Fair enough. Alright. So it says to do this, and then it says to flip it over like that to do the sticker. So, to avoid confusion. So that one was the aft pallet assembly. We've got the Lunar Communication Relay Unit for the LCRU. They love their acronyms. And this one is the forward chassis. I don't know what that means, but it's this thing. I'm pointing at it. It's off camera. You can't really see it. All right, so there's your stand. Again, I've got this piece that I don't know what it was for. I'm gonna real quick scroll through this last bag just to see where I may have missed it. So give me a hot second. Feeling it was probably something early on. Nope. Nope. So all this stuff on the buggy itself, on the rover itself, comes off. There's a 3. And has its own place on this mounting thing, or can be mounted all on the rover itself. But however it's meant to be displayed, suddenly they want you to be able to take it all apart and put it on these signs, these sign holders, to display like it's a museum. Literally no use for this piece. So I got an extra piece for no reason. Unless it was an earlier one that kind of was in this bag. So let's see how this all shakes out. This is going to be a little bigger than the camera is able to pick up, but so this all comes apart. This all comes off. Get this off of here. That comes off. This comes off. It says these things come off. But I don't know why you would take this off. And then this whole thing comes off. Okay, so there's a lot that comes off there. And then this goes on. Here. Ooh. Okay. This goes here. these things. I don't know why this is important that we show that, but because it's part of the communications relay unit. And this part goes here. Like that. And then when this is all, oh, this actually, wow, there's so much left to unpack. So once all those pieces are off, now we can move this. I'm gonna try to transfer this without freaking too much out. Move the sign back. Okay, now this thing like does all kinds of stuff. So these fold up, these fold down, these go like that. This goes up. These guys go down. I don't know what those are. These things go out like that. Both sides. These are already up, so I don't know what that... Keep it from moving, I guess. Okay, I'm not really sure what this is yet. But I have to move those into place. Oh, push these out. Push those out. Like, what is that? Collapse these. Like that. And do the same thing with this. So this is how it packed up. If anybody's curious, this is how the whole thing was distributed. So there you go. I'm gonna get rid of that for a hot second so you can kind of see all the stuff. And there you have it. So it was a lot of, they did a lot of packing to get this thing into space. And this is the, this is how it kind of looks. And then you can take it all apart and put it back together however you want. My microphone is really far away. It probably sounded very bad for a couple minutes. I apologize for that. It's a little after 1. I'm going to go take a break. Thank you all for hanging out with me while we did all this. This was a fun set. I don't know that I would recommend this one to everybody. Honestly, it's a bit, it's Technic for sure, but it's a bit very much Technic. There's a lot of things that were built to be it almost looked like it was built specifically off of diagrams from NASA, and instead of like making it look good, they built it to be that thing, just a very small version of it. Like these are probably exactly what a lot of these tools look like. I don't like some of the things that were, for instance, these things in here that are covered, that you put a bunch of stickers on and then they're covered up and you don't ever see those again. So, you know, you put in 5, 10 stickers in there, and then this gets covered up for general display. There's a bunch of stickers in here. I know there's 4 or 5 stickers under here that are never going to see the light of day. So there's little things like that that aren't awesome. But in general, I like space. I like vintage space. The Apollo 17 mission, obviously very cool. This came with a lot of great parts. If you'd rather get this for the parts, these wheels are very cool. I don't think I've seen these tires in anything specific. These are obviously built specifically for this kit. And I don't know where else you could use those without, because they've got an American flag printed on them. So limited use on that. Everything else, there's a lot of little things on this to like kind of take off and show and whatever. So I'm going to put the buggy back together, and at some point I've got the 3-in-1 astronaut, and we'll see what scale he is comparatively to the buggy, the rover. I'd be interested to see if he fits in that chair. Honestly, I think it'd be kind of fun if he did. And if he does, I'll be like, you know, Lego, I know I give you a lot of crap for something sometimes, but making sure those two work together like that, oh, that'd be amazing. So anyway, but yeah, again, I recommend this to about 70% of people, Lego fans. If you like, you'd have to like space, and you'd have to be okay building Technic. Otherwise, I don't think this is the set for you. It's also $220. So build at your own risk. There's a lot of stickers if you don't like stickers. So not recommending this to everybody, but I will recommend it to space fans. So there you go. I will see you guys on Thursday. Probably doing some studio work of some kind. I don't know yet, but we'll figure out something by then, and I hope to see you then. Take care, everybody. Have a good week, and keep playing with Lego. Bye.